So what would it be if you had the opportunity and you have all the tools within you to confront this relationship, this person that you were afraid to do? Who would it be? What would you do? So you can journal for yourself all the people. By the way, all the people online, I brought a computer to see you, so it's going to be great if you can open cameras. I want to see you and connect more. Don't be shy. We already know each other. Lydia, thank you. Open the camera, it's part of confrontation.
That's true.
It's part of making yourself available, isn't it? Yeah, today, these days, we have so many ways for us to contract and to shrink our visibility. Yeah? To the level people don't pick their phone anymore, say, text me. Yeah? I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to confront you right now. It's not comfortable. So, part of my work is calling people. We call it harisha. It's like you kind of intuitively take your list and you start calling some of the students, and you create conversations with them. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Today I made a call to someone. I don't know why I'm calling people usually. I'm just thinking and I'm choosing a person. I chose this person, and it appeared to be that it was his father's anniversary day today. He went to visit his gravesite, and his father was a very strong pillar in the center in the very beginning. So we both of us saw it as a message. It was very interesting. So what I'm trying to say, that sometimes proactive confrontation, proactive conversation, intuitive conversation can cause us really to reveal a lot of light. Because this was very important for him that I called, and we had a conversation about his dad and what he contributed to the center in the past years. And we had a very, very, very important conversation. And it was completely intuitive. The question is how much we can, and how much are we doing that in our regular life? By the way, you can use it also for business. If you are someone that's having a business, say, okay, creator, what do you want me to do today? What do you want me to do? How can I generate light, income, business? And you will see that if you're in tune, things will come to you. But it's a lot of exercise. But with the culture of today, it's not easy, because you're calling people and saying it doesn't bother even to pick up anymore. So you have to text them. It's a reduced level of confrontation. Yeah? And sometimes there are so many misunderstood textings. Does it happen to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's causing even worse communication. Yeah? So that's not good, because then you are assuming, and what he think about me, and why he said that, and suddenly he came out with those capital letters, and what does it really mean? Does he shout at me? Assumptions, I'm pretty much in my imaginary world thinking what he's thinking, yeah? And coming to conclusion, and it's a mess. It's a mess. So the idea is how we really can upgrade ourselves and be more confrontive, you can say. Yeah, just talk like before.
You know, I find that leaving voice
Wait a second, we give you a mic. Someone wants to say something.
I,
Introduce yourself.
hi, it's Elena. Hi.
They cannot see you.
Just wanted to comment on the way we communicate. I personally, I'm a video caller. Absolutely love, love, love. I have to see person's eyes when I speak with them, and I find that
So why you don't take him to lunch? It's a little bit more. No, so
Well,
now it's video, you know.
Well,
Once we have to get together, you know.
well, in a dating world, first you want to see the
merchandise.
The merchandise, exactly. See if there is a connection, like at least on camera, right? And then if it's worth my time, you know, then it's.
But you know, with AI, he can improve his look tremendously. You be careful with that. He can build muscles, make cheekbones, and things like that.
Yeah. So yeah. That's one thing. I also love leaving voice messages with WhatsApp.
Yes, it's better.
Because texting, I find that when I text, I sound kind of choppy and more
Because it's
strict.
tiring to type.
Yes. So it's easier. I love adding, my voice to what I want to say.
Better.
Because then the tonality. Of course, even harsh
Can
message.
feel you, of course. He can feel you better.
Even harsh message can sound very sweetly. So it's.
But
yeah.
why won't you call just and that's it?
Well, sometimes a person doesn't pick up, or let's say
People are busy.
They are busy or something else, and it's a moment when the message needs to be let go.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, understandable, totally. I'm just challenging our culture and our mentality these days.
But you see, on the other end of this pendulum, we have oversharing on social media. So how do we deal with that? You know, the same.
It's causing a lot of mental problems, especially for the youth.
Absolutely.
Because they see people that seems to be having the life of their lives and enjoying and say, oh, my life is so limited and minor, and many people got depressed, even committed suicide because of that. So it's very, very dangerous, and it's very superficial because, people just doing things for show off anymore. They not necessarily, it's all about, I want to show myself. It's
not really showing myself. It's the showing something that is popular. You know, the masks that we took off at the
yes.
So I find that it's just too much of them, and it's at times it just takes a process to reach to the real person.
Sure, but we should remember that there is also the good side of social media.
Oh, absolutely.
Meaning that it can actually bring message out in a viral way. So if someone really has an important message and talent that he can share with, it's a good place. Yeah?
Yeah. So it's...
Anyone wants to share with us something from the online?
Miriam wrote something. Maybe she would.
You can speak, Miriam, if you want.
Miriam, do you want to share?
Miriam.
Take out of mute.
Oh, I was just trying to do the journal about proactive conversations. I shared that I felt like that I needed to talk to my partner about helping more with the kids.
Yes.
He had just come back from a trip, and I feel that he wasn't as present. I put in parentheses, maybe I'm thinking about it backwards, and I'm like, maybe he was tired, whatever. But I feel that I have to have that conversation with him. It kind of stops me from having that conversation. The fact that he might think I'm, nagging or criticizing. So I'm like, but I feel that it would make us better to just have like set boundaries or set ideas of how to care for the children and stuff. And it could make our relationship better.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So definitely there are conversations, and let's say if a couple that live together for a long time, there is a lot of accumulations of collusions. And if there are few like that, the psychologists explain that if there are few like that that never been dealt and there was never an open conversation, this is the beginning of the end of the relationship. So sometimes we kind of say, okay, maybe we shouldn't talk about it, it's not comfortable, but it's better to deal than not dealing. Because if you want to have long-term relationship, it's okay if there are going to be some sparks coming out, and maybe, but it can bind us. That's the beauty. Like if you overcome that, and if you realize and you understand this side, you're kind of open to listen to the other side, and he's open to listen to you, and you remove all the nonsense out, you see that it's going to bind you. But if there is unclosed matters between people that live together, that's the beginning of the end. So it's better to open up. Okay? Very important. Anyone else wants to share with us on a relationship that he would dare to?
I think in around the same topic of I think the people that have spoken have been women, and we have been talking about how can we talk to men. I think that's a big thing. And today I was listening to this audiobook called The Dance of Intimacy, and how sometimes women let themselves go or don't, like we just lose ourselves trying to accommodate men. And for me, it's kind of like how to establish boundaries as well, or how to speak about my needs. Or for example, in my personal life, I've been speaking to someone in text for a long time, like a few months, and we've been trying to see each other, but then something happens and it doesn't happen. And then now it's like last time I hurt my knee and it just didn't happen. And then it's like I am like, okay, if you really wanted to see me, it doesn't matter what we were gonna do. We're gonna go do martial arts together. It didn't happen because I hurt my leg. But how can I like? And he keeps texting me, and then I'm annoyed because I'm like, I feel like I don't have energy anymore to continue with the texting, because the in person, gives you energy and then lets you continue with like speaking if you are apart or whatever. And so I noticed that he has interest, but then I question, do you really have interest? Like, because someone that is interested would be more like trying to see you, right?
It's true.
And I'm like, how can should I say something? Should I like, because my regular self is like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like just go and be like, instead of finding connection, finding the separation. It's like, oh, I'm done with this. Okay. But I've been trying to be different. This way I'm like continuing talking, and I'm like, I'm trying to be like, okay. And so a part of me just wants to like finish it. And another part of me is wanting to do things differently and approach, instead of from division and separation, from a place of how can we connect. Maybe there is something that I am holding as well, that I'm signaling in an energy that maybe I'm not ready for some kind of intimacy, and I acknowledge that in myself, and maybe he's reading that and maybe he's not ready as well. So, but there's some kind of interest. And so I would like to know like how to approach, because as a woman, it's like you don't want to be like, let's go have lunch. Like I want to, like it's also like, how much do women initiate? And if I initiate, then what if I initiate? The times that I've initiated, I've ended up with a feminine man that doesn't initiate. And so it's like, it's like,
but you see,
a balance. I don't know how to.
That's the biggest problem that we have. We have too many speculations these days, assuming, but if you are a proactive person, it's okay, because this is your only chance, especially in those trying to, date someone new. That's the only chance really to get to know the real person, to see him live, how he respond to you. It's not easy. I'm not in this game, thanks God, anymore. For a while. But I know what people going through. And with all this new culture, it's kind of convenient to, everyone is carrying his own fears and insecurities. So everyone wants to stay safe. But people need to be a bit more courageous about meeting and interacting with other people. Yeah?
We have Ollie who wants to share.
Hi, how are
Yes,
you?
Oli.
Yes. Well, I'm in my case. I was thinking more about like I would like to improve my relationship with my sister.
Sure.
She was always like quite because she's older, so she was always like very controlling and everything. But I am very direct. So every time that I have tried to do something, I just make it worse. So I would really like to, find out what I can do because I would really like, to be closer to her. So that's my situation. So she can get hurt very easily, and we're super different on that way because I'm too direct, so it doesn't work very well, the communication. So I guess I need to find a way to to reach her.
So let's have a conversation about it because this is the real thing that we're talking about. Cindy, your example, it's more related to new relationships. Yeah. So it's yes, it's as this side, but we're talking about baggage that already exists in relationship that went a bit sour. And there are so many opportunities, as we said, in so many different ways. And those are the ones that we want to see if we can heal, if we can. So, Oli, what do you think it's awakening inside of you dealing with your sister? Yeah,
Well, I
in terms
mean,
of yotikun.
yeah, well, I this has been going for a long time. Like you say, our relationship has baggage, since we were small and we were always completely different. And, every time that we had like an opportunity, something happened. So it's a lot of things going on, the way she like how different we are, how our lives went in a very different way. We have not lived in the same country for many years, and that also has not helped. Every time that we got closer, it was like she's, I guess, her way of showing love is like to control or be a bit very, like you can say, like bossy, and me being the younger one, perhaps I did not like that. So it really didn't work. And the last time we had an opportunity to get closer, that she came to live to Montreal for a year, we were getting along very well. But me, I've been so direct. I I I made a comment of something, like, why are you wearing closed boots right now that is so warm? And she didn't like it, and that was like a big problem. So it's just things that come from a long. It was not really that for sure.
Exactly. It's
It's
just
things that come from a long time ago, and I really want to find a way to reach her because I definitely need. I want to be closer to her, but I don't know how to do it.
so. What are your fears? What is your lack around that?
Well, I'm afraid of talking to her and she continuing to be hurt. So I think about it, but I mean I perhaps have to make a plan or find a way how to how to reach her. I think about it, but I don't do it. I'm afraid.
Sure, sure. Beautiful, beautiful. This is what we
Yeah,
talk about. This is what we want to open today.
yeah.
More examples. Thank you, Oli.
Thank you.
I was just wondering if she could ask her sister directly what would be the best way for them to communicate. How would she like to be communicated with?
Could be many ways, but we want to hear more examples. Yeah, could be many different ways. We're not necessarily knowing because we know there is a tikkun there. Yeah, they chose one another's sister and to be always around one another. Even though they're distant, they're still sisters. It's not something that you can just wave. It's a sister. It's not, it's always sitting there. So yeah, we're gonna continue. Yeah, please. No, I mean we can continue just to, please give me
Is it
more
on?
examples.
Okay. So the example I have is from work, and my coworker, managers, other like colleagues. I don't even know how to explain it because I don't think I have any desire to have a conversation with them. I think
But is it someone specific?
okay. So we can stick with my coworker who I work with like immediately.
Yeah.
We work together.
How
Like there's no
long?
way of
How long?
How long? Oh, I've been in the role like a year and a half.
Year and a half. So it's a year and a half
Yeah.
relationship, you can say.
And I have tried, I feel, to just kind of encourage my coworker to focus on the work that we're doing, just running group, mental health group for youth. And I feel like it just gotten to the point of, I just got tired. Like I felt like I wasn't getting support. And it's gotten to a point where I just avoid my coworker unless it's like absolutely needed for us to communicate. And it helps because I'm just not like dealing with their complaints and all that about like management is this, and I'm like, I can't control that. Can we focus on the work?
But if there was harmony there, you probably can do so much more, no?
Absolutely. And it kills
Okay.
me inside that we do the bare minimum because we can't communicate.
Beautiful. Good example. Now, no, continue. We are together. So what is awakening there? What's the fears? What's the doubt? What is the assumption there? What caused you to say, there is no way to communicate with this guy? Or girl, I don't know if it's a girl or
Yeah.
guy.
I think because I realized that they just want to complain about like things outside of our control, like higher level things, so that they don't have to do the work that they're hired to do, which is like working with the kids. And it's just, I tried in all the ways like to kind of get them to focus on what we can control. And I don't know, like I just felt like there was no, like they don't want change. They like to complain and they like to be miserable about things that they can't
And
control.
you feel that the value system is not aligned between your expectations
Yes.
at work and he or she, whatever, I don't know.
It's they, them pronouns. Yeah. I want to be respectful of that, even
Yes.
if I'm not, with
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
I am so triggered right now just talking about it.
Really? So it's interesting.
Yeah. It upsets me because I don't get to do the work that I know I am capable of doing and that the kids deserve to get from us. Because the drama between us is, yeah.
Did you ever try to communicate that?
Not directly, no. I don't know how to communicate directly once I am upset.
Good. So it's a very good example. Thank you. I mean, I'm sorry you have to have that, but we all have those. No worries. It's part of life. Okay. Any more examples online? Anyone? Sure.
Hi. So since we're talking about deep relationships, I think the most problematic relationship I have, I'm very emotional, is with my dad. And so yeah, I suffered abuse, emotional abuse from his outbursts of anger. And I'm sure he didn't mean to do it, but he did it. And so like now, after 34 years of relationship, like I remember the first outburst, I guess it was like even before I was born with my mom, but I have very clear moments of like me at 4 years old. And so that's how deep it goes. And now I learned, like I was very like clumsy and insecure in front of him, but as the years have gone by, I've done lots of therapy and lots of personal work so that I could become the woman that I am today. And I'm more assertive and more secure, and obviously I'm a woman now, so it's like now I can speak to him from this level as an adult. But when he gets angry and when he's like in his own world, he starts, or when he thinks that I'm doing something wrong, like for example, the last time I was in Mexico, I didn't get a paper from the cell phone people and I got a new cell phone, and then he was like, you lost it, and he in his mind is like, you are wrong, and they couldn't be wrong, and I'm like, they didn't give me the paper and I didn't even notice that I had to have a paper. And so he was yelling at me and telling me that I'm pendeja, like bad words, to me, and I'm like, why are you not even considering that it's not even my fault? And why are you? But then I start getting like this, and I start getting so emotional because of the baggage. And I'm like, why are you yelling at me? Why are you're not respecting me? Why are you telling me insults? I don't deserve that.
So
And
you
so
did respond to him
I
this
did
way?
respond to him, and I respond to him like this, but then it gets to a point where I start yelling as well. And so that's the thing. And it was about, like, other examples you were saying about clothes, and in this case about a paper of a phone, but it's not about that. And recently I've been trying to heal the relationship with my dad, and acknowledge the good that he does for me, like how he took care of me, how he was a provider and everything. But then I've been so, like, it's so in there that I want to speak to him about it. And I don't know how to speak about it, and I'm healing myself, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to say. It's just,
No, it's definitely
yeah.
a relationship.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being vulnerable and exposing yourself and sharing. But this is part of what we're going through life, in so many different levels, in so many different relationships. So let's try to get into the Kabbalistic solutions. So the Kabbalist explains to us that there are 3 steps for proactive conversation. I will call it conversation, so we will dare actually to start communicating and not feel that it's going to be something that, create a strike. So first, I need to close the space between you and close the space between you and others. Then the other person has the desire to listen or be open. So it means before I'm approaching any confrontation, any conversation, first I need to understand where I am in that. And I need to make peace. And I need to know what lack this relationship awaken inside of me. Yeah? All the insecurities, all the fear, all the judgment, and so on and so on. Yeah? Then I need to see how it's relate. How is this tikkun is awakening all my relationships, and how is this an opportunity for me to listen and to be open with that other person? Because I know that there is no, because in every relationship, it's I'm feeling I'm right, and that's it. That's it, I'm right. I came to the conclusion, I examined it, I proved to myself in so many occasions that I'm right. Usually when you're trying to be right, you will find the proofs for that. You will see exactly that behavior in that person to show you that you are right. Because that's what the opponent wants. What the opponent wants, bottom line, is to create separation between people. That's what he wants. Because he knows, but when people are together, they're going to reveal light together. So the opponent creates space. And that space and that fragmentation and that anger and hatred for no reason, that's what's causing the separation. So no light is being revealed, only chaos, unfortunately. So the first step, I need to see what is awakened within me. What is the space? What is the light is within me? Yeah. Then I need to understand how it's related to all my relationships. And then I'm much more open because it's no longer about me being right. So I want to be the light in the situation. Okay? So there is a verse in the Zohar that talks about, it's very direct, and it's talk about hatred. Because, at times we get to that level. Because if I'm convinced enough that, so it starts, of course, with a conflict, oh, I'm being right, and then when my needs are not met over and over and over again, there is lots of resentment, and then it can turn into like almost hatred, yeah? And there are people, I don't know if you admit, are there any relationship in your life that you can say, I hate this person? Do you have any relationship like that? That they are so bitter And even in the past, it could be that you even stopped those relationships because of that, but you really resented that person to that level of almost hating him.
To me, like life is about moments, and I think I have hated someone for sure for a moment, but now in this moment, no, and especially after so much time, with more understanding, with more time to think about clearing the air and thinking about more variables, you begin, like, that hatred kind of dissolves. And after, if you do work as
Sure.
well. So
Sure, sure. But you see, we are capable to get there. That's my point.
yeah,
We're
definitely.
capable to get to that point, and I'm sure even you say to yourself, he's fragile, you know, deep inside. So we can come to that place of really hating a person because of something that he did to us. Daniel, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this resonates with me because I wouldn't say I hate my brother, but me and him have gone through a lot of turmoil. And over the years, I've certainly developed a lot of resentment towards him that I think still festers within me. And it bothers me. And I try to, sort of look at his behavior and just kind of blame him for all the transgressions and all my feelings, but it doesn't feel good. And it's something that I live with to this day. And it's just a bit of a dark cloud over me, is the fact that, me and my brother have really gone through a few wars. And, even in my older age now, I find it difficult to make peace with him or feel peace towards him. Although I don't hate him, I love him. He's my brother, but there's
Where does it
certainly
stand
resentment.
right now? The relationship, where does it stand? Daniel?
Pardon?
I mean, where are you right now?
Just being civil, but it's like a cold civility, sort of. It's
Do
like
you meet? Do you have to meet at times in family reunions?
only when, like, if it's like an event for my niece, then she kind of brings us together. But otherwise, if my niece isn't involved, me and him don't really do much together. Period.
Mm. Mm.
And it's tough because it's her. My mom sees it and it hurts her, and it's one of the dark clouds definitely in my life.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing with us. So definitely those are the ones that are with the most baggage in it, that are charged with so much. Those are the ones that we're supposed to do something about. Those are the ones, and that's the direction I want to take us this week. So the Zohar says, "Lo tisna et achicha bilvavcha, ocheach tocheach et amitecha v'gomer." Say that you shall not hate your brother in your heart. You shall certainly rebuke your neighbor. So what does it really mean? Brother, it's like means could be anything. It's not just necessarily someone that is physically my brother, yeah? But הוכיח תוכיח את עמיתך, it means that this is actually the understanding of confrontation. So it says that the moment you're not confronting, what you're going to end up is hating, which is the worst thing in the world, yeah? Because there is one of the precepts that says not to hate. So, but in order for us not to hate, we have to deal. That's the point. We can only hate when we didn't try our best to deal. So, ocheach tochiach, it means that I have to, in a way, pinpoint that relationship and say, okay, let's put all the cards on the table. Let's put, you have this experience, I have this experience. What's the point? Let's talk about it. And it's removing the toxin. And suddenly we see that both of us has feelings and, it's painful. And both of us feel deep inside that, especially if it's family relationship, you feel bad about it all the time. It's there, it's sitting there, it's in the background constantly. Yeah? Constantly. So the whole idea of not coming to aid, it says from the heart, is in order for me to confront. When I'm confronting and I'm putting all the things on the table, there might be a chance that it's going to work. Okay, so now let's talk about the different tikkuns that each and every one of us has around relationships. So I am the right tikkun, it's unfair tikkun, I don't want to hurt anyone tikkun, I don't want to rock the boat tikkun, procrastination tikkun, I'm afraid to be weak, control, hurt, taken advantage of tikkun, impatient with slow processes, getting it over with regardless of causalities tikkun, pleasing tikkun, neediness tikkun, fear of the unknown tikkun, pain of being judged, rejected tikkun, regrets and guilt, beating myself up tikkun, not getting credit tikkun, commitment tikkun, anger tikkun, dislike tikkun, hurt tikkun, control tikkun. All of those are part of our tikkuns that as soon as we realize them, as soon as we're bringing them to the surface, yeah, Miriam said all the above. Yeah, we all have them inside of us to a different extent. And usually the strongest ones are being awakened in those worst relationships that we have that we cannot avoid. Yeah? So it's very difficult to avoid this relationship that we have because you meet this person every day. It's very difficult to have a relationship, to get rid of a relationship with a parent or with a brother. It's there all the time. Why it's there all the time? So we'll understand what is my take, what is my tikkun within this relationship. And the moment I deal with that, then I can approach it. It's much easier to approach it. Any questions about that?
My question is, okay, let's say your tikkun is not getting credit. What does that mean? Let's say it's in a work, like just using my own example, but like work relationship, a lot of frustration because you're not getting the credit you think you deserve, etc. I realize that is my tikkun that I need to work. I'm not getting like, what does that mean? Or any of the other tikkuns as an example.
So the tikkun that you need this constant feedback to show that you're okay. You understand? Instead of knowing that you're okay because your intention is to do great and to add value. Therefore, you care less what people think about you because always there's going to be someone to criticize you or take it for granted or not acknowledge the good that you do. So what's the point? The point is what you feel inside about your intention and the good that you're trying to bring. So you waste your energy. It's like it's taking your confidence down because, oh, you don't get enough feedback. Who cares about the feedback? The feedback. You know, so I heard something interesting about stubborn people. They say the stubborn people usually live longer life. Why? Because they don't want to die. No, it says because stubborn people care less of what other people think about them. That's the reason they're stubborn. They means that they more into what they think is right. So they care less of their outside opinion. Therefore, they say that it's related to longevity. It's interesting regarding getting the credit or, yeah. So it means that getting credit also relates to pleasing. It's also the tikkun of pleasing, it's very much attached to getting credit. It means that I try to do good to please, but I'm not. Somebody wants to share something from the online?
Me, well, I just
Miriam,
have
you wanted to share something before, no? Okay. Anyone else?
Me, Olivia. Do you hear me?
Okay, beautiful. So now we're going to do a short visualization in order to see. Remember in the beginning I told you to write something down, that if you were fearless, what would be this conversation that you would have with this relationship that you have? So if you think that you need to choose a different confrontation, it's okay. Think about it, process it for 1 minute, because it's important. Take your worst relationship with the most charge, with the most baggage, and let's try to do visualization on that. Take it as an opportunity. Yeah. So let's close our eyes, sit comfortably, get into a meditation state, and relax ourselves. Seeing the list of the tikkun, and we want to see what is this relationship awakening inside of us. Closing our eyes and see the trigger that in the awaken over and over and over in that relationship have been awakened inside of me. What could it be? Am I trying to be right? Think it's unfair? Is it a value matter? Do I want to be hurt or get any other person hurt? Neediness, pleasing, fear, pain of being judged, rejected. Is it about guilt, commitment, anger, dislike, hurt, control? Let's try to think, what is the most loud voice that being triggered in that relationship? It could be a few, but it's very important to identify them first, as we said. If we don't really see, we can ask help from the cosmos, help from the light to show us. It's important. We chose this relationship not for the sake of falling into resentment and hatred, for the purpose of healing and tikkun. Healing ourselves, healing past experiences from past lifetimes. Okay, very good. So hopefully you got some answers, but it's something that can be repetitive. And you can repeat this process over with any relationship, by the way. If you really, really, really want to progress and heal in this lifespan that you have, that's the way to go. The messenger cannot be killed, remember. The other person is just the messenger of the light to help you to work on your tikkun. He has his own tikkun, but it's not our business. It could be that if I'm going to do my tikkun, there is a chance that his tikkun going to be better too. Okay, beautiful.
There was a question from Oli.
Yes, she can. You can open their mic.
Oli, can you
And-
ask?
Okay, Oli, can you share your question?
Yes, thank you. I was going back to the tikkun that they were saying regarding the not getting credit. But what happens if you are okay, you're happy with your work, you're comfortable, you know you do well, but you don't get recognition in the sense of getting like the promotions and stuff that they're giving to the people that they like more. or stuff of this kind, you know? So that would be, you know,
It could be related also to giving bread of shame. Because if someone don't appreciate what you share with them, it could be that you giving bread of shame. You're giving a bit much more than they can handle.
oh, okay, interesting.
And,
Okay,
and that's need to be also like to be examined on your side.
okay. Well, I had never thought about it like that, but yeah, okay. Okay,
Say again, Oli, we couldn't hear you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good. Anyone wants to share with us what Tikkun came up for him in relation to this broken relationship? Not broken, but with that needed confrontation, yeah? That never dealt in the way that you wish.
Okay.
That's not necessarily broken, yeah, you're right.
Okay. The relationship I chose was my partner, and we've been dating for 5 years now, and because of me, things have been kind of stagnating in our relationship, and I'm really scared of the commitment of engagement and what that looks like in the future. And
I love it.
um,
You and your old generation, it's not just you.
the whole generation. That's them.
Sorry.
And essentially, there's a fear of being judged there as well, not just by her. I know what the answer would be. It's just the she has her own community there, and there's expectations around her own community and how these should be done with her own friends and her view of how that should
She
be done.
expect you from
Yeah,
stepping up to more commitment, engagement, and
yeah, but also just the proposal itself and what that is supposed to look like, and setting all that up myself, it like freaks me out so badly that
you need to
I'm
bring
gonna
a
mess it
camel
up.
to
I
her
need
father.
I need an engagement coach. Yeah. So that's what came up for me. It was a fear of commitment for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So yeah. No, for sure. Beautiful. Anyone else? Something came up? Yes, please.
I had a very unpleasant conversation yesterday with with someone not related. It's not romantic. It's more of a business. But I'm still agitated from it, and I'm scared. I feel a knot in my stomach. So what happened? And I'm realizing now that the issue of boundaries, being able to listen to my inner voice and stand up for my own safety and protection, and basically say no when the no can be said. I thought I worked through it, but I didn't. So it's still there. So I find that certain things lifelong.
Beautiful.
journey.
So yeah, I like this example. So what did it awaken inside of you when we're talking about your own tikkun there? So probably you're not necessarily doing what your gut feeling tell you. And
Yes.
the question is why, according to those tikkuns that we mentioned.
Because when it comes to professional role, like when I have to perform as a professional,
Sure.
like one of the masks.
Sure.
Again, I'm always doing my best in most professional, ethical way possible. So when someone is trying to, is asking me questions, finding information, I'm always resourceful to the point that, whatever I know, I would share. But I find that at times, I just need to pause before I speak. And that pause will allow me to compose and say, I'm not
Do you
ready.
see anything in the list that relates to that?
I wouldn't say pleasing because it's not about that. I think it's more about afraid of being weak and controlled. But I am allowing to be controlled, actually.
Sure.
And
So it could be pleasing.
could be.
Yeah. See, those are things that we don't put enough attention because the sound a little bit too loud. Oh, I'm a pleaser? Yeah, it could be. That's something that we need to look at least to examine, at least to ask.
No, for sure. And like, that yesterday conversation brought me to a very beautiful understanding of, at least next time I know what to do. I may not, I may still put myself in a pleaser situation, but
Okay, beautiful. So is leading us to another important term that we're going to learn today. It's called klipot. Klipot are shells of negativity, negative layers that are created by an individual negative actions and that limit his or her spiritual growth. So, for example, we saw the list of all those different tikkuns in related to relationship. So if each and every one of those represent a shell, and I gave too much of my power to pleasing, I gave too much power to my insecurity, I gave too much power to my judgment, I gave too much power to lack of commitment. That's a layer that prevents the light, the endless light, to come to my life. It's a curtain, it's a shell. It means it's blocking the light to come to me. You understand? So that's a very, very important, and we might do another class that's going to unpack what is klipot. But this is to identify whatever comes its mind and it's blocking the light to come in and give me the clarity. Sure. Yeah, you pull a layer, there is another layer behind. I think I logged off of the other one. Okay, so I don't see you anymore. Okay, beautiful, everyone. Any other questions we have here online? Who would dare now to go ahead and to confront this relationship in a different way?
I'll do it. I'll speak to my dad.
But not with anger, with something else. Think about it. What would be a win-win? There must be a win-win. It cannot be, I'm going to prove you wrong, and that's it. It must be a win-win there. Okay, beautiful, guys. So the light works. It's to repeat the meditation daily. Ask for guidance from the light, from a mentor or a friend, to see lesson more clearly. If you need to unpack something, if you need more clarity, you can come even to me to a conversation, a personal conversation that I can help you to have more clarity around that relationship. Every relationship counts, every relationship is important. We chose those, remember. Okay? So we just opened yesterday Kabbalah 1. And if you have anyone in mind you want to invite, registration is still open to join. They can watch the recording, they can join us online or in person. You're welcome to share it with other people. Monday, we're entering to the spring month. It's called the month of Aries. It's the first sign of the zodiac. It's the fathers of all signs. It's the beginning of the astrology. How do you say, the astrology months, yeah? So it's the beginning of the year, the astrological year. So we're going to share important consciousness. It's leading also to a very big window in time called Passover, that if you're interested, you can learn so much about. You can join in person, online. Tamar also going to do a special breath of renewal. It's all about renewal. The spring, everything gets renewed. The trees, the land, the grass, we get renewed. We want to get renewed. There is ability during this month to jump a few steps ahead, to bypass processes. We're going to learn about it more deeply, but it's a very amazing window, so you're welcome to join. Now, on the 12th Friday, we're doing our leaders, doing a complimentary dinner for you guys. You can come in. It's not going to be on Zoom. Sorry. It's very hard to send you the
Eat on
file of
Zoom.
the food. So wherever you are, you're invited to come to meet all our new community and the leaders, all the mentors, to join together, communication, connect and celebrate. Okay, so you're very welcome. And you can bring someone with your +1, whatever it is. Okay, bring a human if you don't mind. Okay, so we're looking forward. It's going to be very powerful evening. Yes.
So on April 8th is the eclipse, the solar eclipse, and there's also like big energies happening.
Yeah, we know.
Wondering if Tamar is gonna talk a little bit about it.
For sure, we're going to talk about it. It's a very, very important thing because it's happening in Canada strongly. It's going to generate a lot of changes that we need to be aware of. And so it's happening on the same day. It's very interesting that it's happened this way. So we're going to talk about that, about the eclipse. Beautiful, guys. So great to see you all. We send you the recording. Do the meditation daily and try to approach those difficult relationships and to create more win-win. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Good night.